Hola and welcome to a new episode of the Ruthless Dog and Pony Show. My goodness, it's been quite a while since our last presentation, since our last collection. We've been busy. We've done an amazing retreat in the Coachella Valley. We just came back and we are re-energized and ready to take on more painting collections as well as prepare for our London painting retreat. So that's coming up in just a few weeks. And if you haven't signed up yet, registered yet, you can go to ruthlesspainters.com/London and you'll find all the information. We're preparing amazing locations to paint. We're getting inspired by subjects in the city that have been subjects for painters over centuries. And we are also excited to share the studio where we're going to be painting at in the evenings, and also the tentative spaces that we have planned for showing our work. So we also are making a few changes in our website and also in our events. We are going to dedicate our remote events only for one-on-one painters. So we feel like the equinox has affected us in a positive way, and we've spent so much time outside in the desert that we are craving to be outside as much as possible. This is not only the spring season, it is painters season. So we are plotting new events and new locations for the next few months. And so there's a lot more happening, not only the retreats, but also other events and locations. So stay tuned, but essentially we are presenting right now the painting collection, the next painting collection. We just finished and did up an amazing repertoire of avocados. We learned so much about the fruit and also historical references, origin, and we created an incredible array of avocados. A subject that it's not easy to tackle. So we've learned a lot about how to create the perfect avocado green, mixing the color palettes, the colors that we have in our staple palette. So it's been quite informative and amazing. And we are ready to present and take on the next painting collection. And actually, I'm just going to do a couple of things. But so this past week, it feels like a long time ago, but it was only last week. We were based in the Coachella Valley, and it was an intensive, immersive week. We met a lot of people, but also logistically, we had to do quite a few runs to the supermarket, to the art store, to get supplies, to and to have things to eat, and also to have things to beautify our environment. And we love flowers, and we did a couple of like Trader Joe's pit stops. And one of the flowers that we got was a flower that we're very fond of. It has a very technical name and a really funny name. And before I say both and I give you some examples of the flower, I'm just going to say the name, and you'll probably most likely won't be able to connect it with a flower. Craspedia flower. The Craspedia flower, it's unusual in shape and it has a great, beautiful history. So we thought that maybe the spring equinox, we celebrated it in Palm Springs under this glorious new moon. We made our affirmations and got ready for a beautiful season, painter season. And we thought that to pay tribute to the season and also to a flower that maybe doesn't get enough credit, the Craspedia flower, we're just going to paint Craspedias. I'm just going to show you an image, but another name for Craspedia that I love, it's Billy Balls. So we had a few laughs about that name. I don't know who Billy was and how come these flowers are nicknamed after Billy, but Billy Balls are the typical, more common name for the flowers. And let me just kind of like see if I can just drop this photos before. Are we gonna paint? So the next collection of paintings will be arrangements with billy balls, Crispidia flowers. And in 1 second, I'm just gonna, it's gonna maybe pause for a second, but I'll just mention some information and notes about the flowers that I think are really interesting, and some rituals. The flower is, let me see, the flower is native of New Zealand and Australia. And it's one. Yeah, so these are five billy balls flowers, Crispidias, and very architectural, very minimalistic. They don't take a lot of space. They don't have leaves. So Trader Joe's now has a bunch of them because the season is essentially starting right now. It's not even summer. They go from early summer to late fall. And we saw a bunch of them, in the shop, in the store. And so, yeah, we're just gonna paint them. I have a few examples, but let me just read a couple of things about them. So yeah, it's also known as billy buttons or drumsticks. Due to its shape. So you pick, depending on how mischievous and adventurous you want to be in a conversation. You have a range. Crispidia will make you look like academic. And billy balls will be a topic of conversation. So you decide. So they're native of Australia, New Zealand, and they have been introduced to other parts of the world. We are going to learn more about how they travel from their native environment to other places. We also want to find out how those billy balls at Trader Joe's got there, because that could be an interesting conversation about globalization and carbon footprint, perhaps. In some parts of the world, Crispidia is considered an invasive species. It's very hardy. It grows everywhere. So it's funny because it feels exotic and extremely, I think it's expensive also. But it's funny how this is a weed in some parts of the world. It's considered something not desirable. It can quickly spread and take over an area. The flowers are a popular choice for wedding bouquets and other floral arrangements due to their unique shape and bright yellow color. And that's something also that we're excited about, moving from avocado green to billy balls yellow. It'll be interesting how to get the golden tone using a combination of yellows, perhaps, how we can warm up the yellow. So a study on yellow is always a good idea. We personally feel like yellow is the most challenging color and paint to use, just because it can quickly turn into green. It can quickly get muddy and not have the crisp view of the color. So it's always good to practice color studies using yellow. And also yellow as a color, sometimes we identify it with one single very specific color, and the range or the spectrum of yellows from cold yellow to warm yellow is so gorgeous, and there are so many specific color names for yellow that we're going to talk about. So Crispidia flowers are often used in dried flower arrangements, as they retain their shape and color well even after being dried. So that's another reason why these flowers are a popular choice for flower arrangements, just because they don't wilt or shed petals. They don't change color too much. So maybe that's the reason why they're so expensive, just because you can enjoy them for much, much longer than just your regular roses, I guess. Crispidia flowers are often used in Oh, I just read that. The flowers are sometimes used in traditional medicine in Australia to treat a variety of ailments, including headaches and toothaches. So we'll explore more about who uses these flowers for medicine and since when and what other uses of this flower traditional cultures have used. I'm just repeating the word again. The plant has a relatively long flowering period, typically blooming from early summer to early fall in its native habitat. So we've been tracking these flowers for a while. We know when they come to Trader Joe's just because that's our place to get groceries. So we were very happy to coincide many things: the retreat, the painting retreat, the spring equinox, and the arrival of Crispedias to the supermarket. I don't know any other supermarkets that sell them, but we encourage you to get some, use them for your painting. Still lives, this will be a typical flower still life, but I saw so many Ikinawa style arrangements with this flower, so I think this could be an interesting an interesting subject visually and aesthetically. I think this could it could be a really beautiful idea and subject for a painting. Turns out not many artists are using these flowers as subjects for their paintings, so we have a feeling that this collection of paintings will be remarkable in its uniqueness, and also it will remain in the psyche of our community for a long time. Just because, when was the last time you saw Billy Balls painted in a good, original, authentic, charismatic way? In some cultures, Craspedia flowers are considered a symbol of good luck, and they are used in various rituals and ceremonies. The plant is relatively easy to grow, and it's very popular among gardeners and landscape designers. And I'm just gonna finish this presentation maybe showing you one more, and also telling you that it's part of rituals as well. In some cultures, Craspedia flowers are also used. They have a significant spiritual importance, and they are used in rituals, and we'll find out exactly how they are used. But we like this idea of a flower that symbolizes good luck. Maybe it has to do with the fact that that round gold shape references gold, the metal, references the sun, references the fertility in some aspects, or in some references that we read. Fertility, good luck, and auspiciousness. So thanks so much. Oh my gosh, for watching this until the end. We're painting Craspedia flowers. We're gonna start painting on Tuesday. We have a painting session tonight at the Everly Hotel in Hollywood. We're gonna bring some images already, so perhaps we can start the painting collection then. And we hope you can join us in the following and upcoming painting sessions in the next at least 2 weeks. So thanks again.